This is Chuck Schaefer, and I'm joined by Brian Halligan, founder and CEO of HubSpot. Brian, thank you for taking some time and joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
Brian, HubSpot is an interesting player in the marketing automation technology space. For the marketer that's not yet familiar with HubSpot, how would you describe your solution?
Yeah, probably the last two words I would use to describe HubSpot would be marketing automation.
Okay.
The last thing we want to do is help you automate the way you market. We want to help you kind of transform the way you market to match the way humans actually shop and learn things. To me, there's this big shift in the way humans sort of live and work and shop. And they live in Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Google, and they live on the road and they live in their mobile phones. This massive shift in the way people shop and learn. And I feel like the traditional marketing playbook of PR agencies and buying a list and emailing people and advertising to them online and interrupting them in their daily lives with cold calls, I just feel like that playbook is just busted, and marketing needs to be rethought and transformed to do what we started calling inbound marketing. Instead of interrupting people with spam and cold calls and stuff, how do you pull them in from Google and blogs and social media in a new way? So we're trying to turn marketing on its head to match the way humans actually buy stuff.
So let me drill down and put that into some business processes or use cases.
Sure.
How does your application, how does your technology do those things?
Sure. There's basically two parts to our story. The first part is to doing inbound marketing right is creating really remarkable content, sort of like you're doing with this video here. How do you create a great piece of video or blog article or ebook or webinar? And the better the piece of content, the more links it pulls in from the internet, the better it will rank in Google. The better the piece of content, the more retweets and likes it will get. To win on the internet, you don't need to have a lot of money, you need to have great content. It's about the width of your brain, not the width of your wallet. So the first piece is content. Pull people into your business with content. The second piece is context. How do you create context to pull people through your funnel? And the way I kind of think about that is, my favorite example of that is Amazon. And when you visit Amazon, when I visit Amazon, very different experience. I like the Grateful Dead and I like the Red Sox, so they market Grateful Dead and Red Sox stuff to me. You maybe like fly fishing and antique watches, and that's what they market to you. And all the emails you get from them and all the website experiences, everything is very personalized and highly contextualized. And that's what we try to do for HubSpot. Is when someone visits your website, you should get a very unique, personalized experience. The more times people visit your website or click on emails or read blog articles or do things on Facebook and LinkedIn, all that stuff informs your business, and you make it much more contextualized and personalized to increase those conversion rates. So it's really about creating context, content to pull people in, and context to pull people through the funnel. It's really actually kind of the obvious idea at the end of the day.
Very good. Well, let me ask you this, sort of a two-part question. Who is the HubSpot target market?
Sure.
And how are you pulling them in, sort of eating your own dog food?
Sure. It's 1 employee to 1,000 employees is the way I kind of think about it. It's not necessarily Fortune 500 companies or giant brands. It's more small and medium-sized enterprises. And and we like the small and medium-sized enterprises because, well, I'll tell the story. There's this great cartoon in the New Yorker where there's this dog typing on the internet. There's another dog kind of looking over his shoulder like, why are you typing on the internet? And the dog typing on the internet says to the other dog, the great thing about the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. And it's very true. You don't have to be a Fortune 500 company to create good content and pull people in and really grow your business. It's really about the width of your brain, not the width of your wallet. And so I am partial to small, medium-sized business, and I feel like the internet disproportionately benefits the attackers, the small, medium guys, versus the defenders. We are a content factory, so we have a very popular marketing blog.hubspot.com. We produce really, I think, remarkable ebooks and webinars. We broke a world record for the largest webinar, which is a lot of fun. And then we give a piece of our product away for free. It's called Marketing Grader, marketing.grader.com, where you put your URL in, and it gives you a score of 1 to 100 on how good or bad you are at this stuff, and gives you a bunch of recommendations on it. So we eat our own dog food, or we drink our own champagne. How about that?
There you go. You've talked about the end of interruption-based marketing techniques. You've talked about some of your use cases and business processes. How does that translate to either top line or bottom line benefits? What are the benefits that your customers are getting by adopting your solution?
Yeah, it's really lead flow. So our average customer starts with us, they get 50 new leads a month. And within a year, they're getting over 500 leads a month. And some are doing much better, some worse, obviously. But if they do the work, they create the content, they create the context, whew, it just works. And that's propelled our growth. So we're growing like crazy. It manifests itself in more leads and more revenue.
You know, what you're describing sounds like it shouldn't be a novel concept, but in some ways, in many ways, it is.
I kind of agree, yeah.
How is this being adopted, and where do you think we are in terms of this type of concept crossing a chasm to mainstream adoption?
I think a lot about that, and I'm not sure I've got the right answer. It feels to me like it's very early in the game, that the behavior of humans is changing, is continuing to change. So let's take email marketing. Email marketing still works, but like spam protection makes it tough, and then the Google priority inbox makes it really tough. I think about cold calling, caller ID made it tough, and then people just use their mobile phone now, and there's no 411 for the mobile phone, and now people just don't like talking on the phone. That's getting tough. I think about advertising on the web. Pop-up blockers made it tough, but now you've got ad blockers that block the ads out on the side. It's just like the trend seems to continue that the playbook's broken, and I think all marketers are going to have to turn themselves inside out and rethink the way they market, because the playbook's broken and getting more broken over time. And so my sense is we're in it's called the second inning of the baseball game, that we're just getting started on this.
You're doing well. You're promoting this inbound marketing, content marketing concept. But now you're also sort of morphing or inching into what I would call the more traditional marketing automation technology space. Is that part of the plan? Are we going to see more of that from HubSpot?
Yeah, it's part of this context idea. What we want to do is build a database that watches and listens everything that your users are doing. So, okay, you visited my website. Which pages did you visit? Which blog articles did you visit? Did you make a comment on the blog? Where are you in the funnel? And leveraging all that information to, what most marketing automation vendors do is they leverage that information to create customized emails, and we'll do that. But what I think is really cool about HubSpot is we'll also customize that website experience. That's, I think, the next big wave in marketing. And email marketing was about, you send this big blast out to your newsletter, and what marketing automation vendors have done is say, okay, you can segment those and make them more personalized and get the conversion rates up. And that made perfect sense, and it's working. I think the next wave is how do you do that with your website as well, with your homepage, with your landing page, with your blogs, with your call to actions. I feel like there's a giant wave about to happen there.
That would seem reasonable.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how is HubSpot taking advantage or synergizing with social media?
It's been a big part of the HubSpot story since day one. In fact, if I think of what HubSpot was 5 years ago when we first got started, it was really a modern content management system with really cool SEO tools and really cool social media tools like baked into it. And back then the social media tools were like Dig and Reddit, the really early social media tools. And over time we've just evolved it to be more Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. And we don't have something separate for social, it's just built into everything we do. So for example, you sign up with HubSpot, we make sure you get your Facebook page set up just right, get your Twitter page set up right, get your LinkedIn group going, your LinkedIn company page. You make sure your blog, each article, it's very easy to share the blog articles on those things. We have a listening tool that listens to what's going on in social media, lets you schedule tweets and amplify stuff. So we sort of have always built that stuff in from day one. It's a big piece of our puzzle.
Where is HubSpot going over the next few years?
We're going to continue to invest. I don't want to give all our cards away, but we have an annual conference we just had. It's called Inbound, and we made a bunch of new announcements around this idea of context. And we're building and we've got plans in place, and we're going to have a bunch of new awesome stuff to announce at next year's conference. I'm not going to give it away on your show today, but we should talk as time goes on.
We will. And with that keeping me on the edge of my seat, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer. I've been joined by Brian Halligan, founder and CEO of HubSpot. Brian, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.